on oil exploration, production, and the general management of electricity. I hope that we can take a step further by facilitating cooperation between experts of the Gambian Ministry of Energy, our National Water and Electricity Corporation, NAWEC, and their counterparts in the Islamic Republic of Mauritania.
According to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Hamadou Ould Baba Ould, the two countries have recorded significant development in different areas of interest. He highlighted the different sectors which can be tapped to meet the development aspirations of the people of the two countries. The inaugural meeting of the Ministerial Task Force took off on a high note, with officials looking at different areas of collaborations to serve the interest of the Gambia and Mauritania. For GRTS News, I am Aji Amisise.
Over 30 technocrats and technicians drawn from the Ministries of Agriculture and Health today gathered for a medium-term framework planning meeting organized by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. We have more on that strategic meeting in this report by Babukar Kamara.
Is for the development of two strategic plans, one for the Ministry of Health and the other one for the Ministry of Agriculture.
They represent a cross-section of the civil service called upon to align their national budgets in line with the country's resource envelope.
In the Gambia, we don't want to wait for problems to catch up with us. The government has had this foresight to make a shift from annual budgeting to the medium-term framework, which in effect means that we are moving away from an annual focus of budget preparation and implementation and embedding a medium-term focus in the prioritization, presentation, and management of revenue and expenditure.
And these plans are not only developed and are left in yourselves, but the reason why we want these plans to be owned by the ministries is that these planning institutions will be responsible for updating these plans on an annual basis.
Advocacy on program-based budgeting has been consolidated with a new medium-term framework by the Finance Ministry, piloting with the Ministries of Agriculture and Health for the development, implementation, and review of a new blueprint.
The Ministry of Agriculture has the GNIP, the Gambian National Agriculture Investment Plan, which is linked to the agricultural ANR policy. Now, the challenge for our ministries is to develop and budget a budget that can operationalize these plans through the MTF, and that's why we're here for the coming 2 days.
Achieving better health outcomes requires more and better integrated investments in health systems and new approaches to resource allocation at all levels. It has often been argued that investing in people, especially in their health, is not something that typically requires justification. What has received considerable attention, however, is the question of whether investing in wealth generation leads to good health and nutrition outcomes, or whether investing in people's health is a critical element in creating societal wealth.
With technocrats and technicians tasked to align and come out with implementable medium-term strategies, it is hoped the 3-day conclave will reduce the heavy burden of state resources vested on the soldiers of the Finance Ministry without appropriate justifications. Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
The dust raised by the recent local government elections has started to settle, and some of the elected officials have already taken office. Now it seems the ball is in the court of those officials, as people expect them to deliver on their campaign pledges. But what are the most pressing concerns of those who went to polling booths to elect them? Our reporter Aissatou Bajansar went out and about to find out.
Local councils are responsible for a wide range of services for their local communities. Every council provides different services depending on the needs of their communities and the resources they have. They decide what the society needs and provide services so that these needs are met. Most of the time, these needs include building and maintenance of feeder routes, develop plans on how the built environment should be developed by ensuring that buildings are developed in a coordinated and well-planned way, as well as set rules on enforcing these plans. Councils are also responsible for the provision of recreational facilities and parklands and the proper disposal of waste. The latter, when neglected, poses serious threat to the lives of people and the environment and has been of concern to the masses, thus an issue that needs addressing by authorities. Barely 3 weeks ago, the country witnessed the election of local government authorities for the 2 councils of the capital city of Banjul and the Kanifing municipality, and local wards across the length and breadth of the country. A free and fair election that saw the Kanifing mayor re-elected into office, whereas in Banjul, a new mayor emerged. Well, once election into office manifests the trust and confidence people have in the individual to propel their welfare for the better. Thus, after having democratically elected their choices, one could not but wonder what voters expect from those they voted for.
Our main problem here is the garbage, because the garbage is here, me myself, just this past weeks, I am the one who took my garbages from my house, following the tractor wherever I can get it to dump my garbages, which is very unfair to us. This is the things that we want the authorities to address.
Be it Liva or be it anybody else, I think anybody who is in the Banjul City Council should look first and foremost about the cleanliness of Banjul, the inavailability of water for the people in Banjul. Those are 2 major stuff I think are important in the lives of the people, because I discovered so many people in the surroundings would go very far to look for water. Before, there used to be public taps managed by people of the respective areas.
Elsewhere in the Kanifing municipality, one of the busiest municipalities in the country, with remarkable developments across the board, with the municipality described as a one-stop center due to the metropolis provision of almost all human needs, from commerce, education, tourism, agriculture, sports. But does that mean that all is rosy for the inhabitants of this metropolitan area?
You wish something and God have it do for you. You just also you have to appreciate it for the population to be very happy on it. You know, there's a certain place, the KMC, you can see the market. You have your own opportunity to do your own business, but they will come and disturb you, and that is cannot be done. And also there's a certain place who is very dirty, like a garage place like this. No, that's also the mayor have to check about that and help us.
Bakary Cisse, a taxi driver, bemoaned the issue of deteriorating feeder roads within the municipality, saying not only does it affect their work, but also destroy their cars. He pleaded to the council to come to their aid. Not the race to fulfilling promises made during election campaign. This, in fact, should be a matter of urgency to all those voted for, to ensure that the lives and livelihood of their people are improved for the better. For remember, time waits for no one, and the things you do for your people will be the voters' yardstick come next election. Aissatou Badiane Sarr, GRTS.
So our first break. When we come back, we take a look at news from outside the Gambia. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The death toll has risen in the building collapse on the outskirts of Bangladesh capital. 397 people are now confirmed dead. Hundreds are still missing. Nearly 3,000 people have been pulled out alive since the multi-story building collapsed 5 days ago. And crews are now using heavy machinery to remove the wreckage, suggesting the hunt for survivors is drawing to a close. Meanwhile, the owner of the Dhaka building is the latest person arrested in the collapse, and police say he was caught trying to flee the country. He was arrested Sunday after a 4-day manhunt. We have details of that story in this report.
Rescue workers say they're still very much in that search and rescue mode. It's quite amazing. They've already been able to pull out more than 2,700 people alive. And just over the weekend on Sunday, they were still able to pull out about 4 people alive.